Good afternoon. Nice to see you. And I know it's 3 o'clock. We're just gonna maybe wait 2 more minutes to let people join in. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Rokeya.
Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. So we're going to wait 2 more minutes to get started. Okay. I hope it's been enjoyable. Thank you, Cecilia, to join back. Nicole,
Yeah.
Claudia. Yes. Okay, it's 3:01. So we're going to wait 1 more minute and then we're going to start our workshop. Can you hear my voice okay, everyone? Okay. Thank you. So by the time people are joining, I wanted to check in with you. So I know people are joining now. It's after lunch, 3 o'clock. I know everybody kind of feeling maybe tired. And also many of you are teaching or maybe you are a student. So if you can show how you are feeling today, because feelings are important, even though as an adult, we need to acknowledge our own feelings and also feelings of others. So since other people are joining, you can kind of show your feelings using a feeling emoji, maybe, or the icon. There is a one, or even a reaction. There's a reaction button you can share, or you can just write it down in the chat box. How are you feeling today? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you upset? Are you content? Are you tired? Anything you can share in the chat box. You can share any emoji or maybe just put it in the chat box that you are feeling happy. I'm feeling kind of excited, a little bit tired, but I am excited to start. Okay, wonderful. I see Anna, happy. Nice to see you. Your happy emoji and reaction. Let me see in the chat box. Happy. Vanessa, she's happy. Cecilia, I'm very tired. I know, Cecilia, it's 3 o'clock. Maria, she said she feeling excited. Okay, excellent, excellent. Thank you for sharing. So let's get started. I know you are tired and maybe you become sleepy, so I wanted to start. So again, hello everyone. If you know anyone, your friends, maybe your coworkers or maybe fellow students, you can let them know so they can still join a 3 o'clock workshop. I think there's a 2 workshops going on right now, I believe. So before I begin, I wanted to introduce myself quickly. Some of you already know me. My name is Rokeya Rahman, and I am a full-time faculty at East Los Angeles College. And also right now, kind of helping as a vice chair in the department. I have been working more than 15 years in the ECE field with a different position like teacher assistant. I started as a teacher assistant. I learned a lot. And also I worked as a teacher, supervisor, director, and coach. Right now I'm teaching adult in a community college. And starting 2015, I was a part-time adjunct at ELAC and also Los Angeles City College. Now I'm a full-time. This is my 8th year being a full-time. Time flying so fast. And also I do present different workshops, especially I presented in a different conference. And also I present for different workshops for students, faculty members, and also community. I do present a lots of parenting workshops for my local community as well. So I'm really happy to be a part of these wonderful workshops. And I presented actually Teach for LA before. with my co-presenter Nancy. But this is the first time that I'm presenting by myself. So today we're going to focus on just a little greeting and intro I already did. We do have a quick icebreaker. I wanted to hear your experience using blocks, learning objectives, focusing on, this is actually one of my favorite items and favorite topics that I love to talk about blocks. So I'm going to share some history of block play, importance of block play, stages of block play, and also how block play could be a universal tools and also a great tools for STEAM. So that's really important. So and also we're going to kind of work together as a group so we can integrate blocks concept in a curriculum design. So that also we're going to trying to do today. So that's my agenda. And also feel free to ask me any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions towards the end. For my icebreaker, I wanted to hear from you. It's kind of like a memory lane. I wanted to hear, like, share your memory using either blocks or wood scrapes, pieces of wood, or maybe Lego, or maybe woodworking, anything that you had any memory with as a child, and how would you play with them? Anyone wanted to share? Or you can put it in the chat box as well. You can unmute, right? Let me see. You can also you can also share in the chat box if you want. I think you can unmute yourself, and if you wanted to share. For let me share my experience. I used to play with a lots of wood scrapes. Wood scrapes basically pieces of woods, they piled up. Let's say there's a construction going on, or maybe home constructions, or maybe they're cutting some wood pieces for firework or something like that. So I used to kind of use those wood scrapes, like pieces of wood. And also we tried to build a like house. We tried to build little, like, not a doll house, like houses for us. And we used to crawl down in there and stay for a while, pretend like this is our house. So that's what I remember I used to do with my sisters. Anybody has any memory? Let me see in the chat box. Okay, Casey Murphy mentioned, I remember digging through my Lego bin looking for pieces. Yes, my brother and I would make planes and cars. Wonderful. Anna mentioned I would play with wood blocks and build castle and farms. Yes, those are so wonderful memory. Claudia said block play was more for boys and not girls. Wood scripts, I would be doing collage. Block plays is for everybody. So if you think about it, in your classroom, which area is the most busiest area? It's actually block area and the house area, like dramatic play. So I know that I have two boys. I have so much Lego that sometimes I feel like, oh my God, what I'm doing with all these Legos. So wonderful. And my actually favorite thing is like wooden piece. I will show you some of the blogs that I have also. I wanted to show you some. Vanessa mentioned I would play with blocks and Lego and would build a castle with my brother and also with my cousin when they would go visit us. Wonderful. Cecilia mentioned, yes, I remember play with number blocks and showed eye-hand coordination. Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So again, thank you so much. It's really wonderful memory. I love to hear. Let me see. There's, I think, one more. Maria mentioned, I would love to stack them up. Yes. And try to build a tower. Absolutely. Absolute joy. Thank you. So today, after this presentation, I know you are familiar with blocks. Is not something that we don't know. We do know. But we just wanted to be more intentional as an educator and also as a student wanted to see how we can actually use this so open-ended and easy and simple materials could be so wonderful and also so beneficial for children. So the learning objectives we're going to focus today: define the keywords related to block play, acknowledge the history of block play, identify the stages of block play, and discuss the significance, and also integrate block into STEAM curriculum, and also acknowledge educators or caregivers' roles in facilitating block play into the curriculum. And also I wanted to show you how blocks, woodworking or wood scrapes can be related with Preschool Learning Foundation, DRDP, and ACRS. I wanted to show you that connection. Okay, so we know that this is a simple thing, blocks, and we see everywhere, right? However, this is actually a holistic learning materials. And blocks is open-ended materials which actually lay foundation of all the developmental domains, all the developmental purposes. Think about physical development. We'll get deep into it, but think about physical development, social, emotional, cognitive, language, science, math. And when we talk about cognitive, basically it's cover math, science, problem solving, comprehension, right? Language development, everything. So I will say blocks is one of the open-ended materials that kind of cover all the benefits, like enormous benefits for all the developmental area. And also this is an essential educational tools for STEAM education. And as you know, that blocks actually fulfill the purpose of constructive play that Piaget talked about it. And also it is an extension of dramatization and dramatic and performing play as well, because that also connected with social, emotional, and social studies components as well, okay? So as I mentioned before, which area is more busy or busiest? It is the block area, right? So you know. And I'm really excited to share some history with you. Who can tell me? Let me give you the quiz. Do you know how many years the blocks has been using in the classroom? Anybody has any guess, like idea? For how long? No idea? Okay. It is actually more than 100 years. So let me share some of the history of blocks. It's so fascinating. So I know that all of you kind of know about Frederick Froebel, the philosopher, the education specialist. Frederick Froebel, actually known as a father of kindergarten. So he's the one who actually built first kindergarten in the United States. However, he came from Germany. So some of the school during that time were built in the United States for actually, it was meant for children who actually came from Germany with their family, like as an immigrant. And they used to teach in German in those schools. So, however, Froebel's philosophy for children's education became popular during that time. So there are different schools actually get established who usually follow Froebelian philosophy of education. Okay, so Frederick Froebel, basically the first time ever, 1869, introduced a block toys actually. So it's kind of simple, small blocks, and it has other blocks inside. It is actually like they can put the blocks out and put it together, and it fits in the box inside. And I will show you a picture in a minute. And that used to known as gifts. So children used to play with that little wooden block sets known as gifts. That was 1869. And then Piaget cognitive development theory actually mentioned about 3 types of knowledge, right? Physical, social, emotional, physical, and most importantly, Piaget known for logical, mathematical knowledge. And then he said children can build their logical, mathematical skills and knowledge using manipulative materials as blocks. So he also introduced and talked about blocks as well for a developmental materials children can use. That was Jean Piaget. And then Maria Montessori, 1908. She introduced 9 pink blocks that we can see in many places, and it does have a like a modern version of it. I will show you a picture in a minute. That was 1908. And then Caroline Pratt, one of the New Yorker, she was one of the founder of school. She actually went to Germany, and then she get introduced about different kinds of blocks in Germany. So when she came back, she designed her own unit blocks that we have been knowing. So that actually, Carolina Pratt, she's the one who designed the unit blocks that we have been seeing in our classroom, anywhere you go, any classroom, okay? And that was actually, she introduced her unit blocks in 1913. So now we are in 2025, so it's been 113 years that unit blocks have been actually using in the classroom. Isn't it so amazing? Like, wow, that became a holistic educational materials for children more than 100 years. So it's really amazing. Now, I wanted to show you actually some pictures. So this one right here, these are the Frobel's gift, 1869. So as you can see, it's bigger one, and then inside there's a small pieces of blocks. And then Montessori's 9 pin blocks, 1908. Now you can see like a little ring one. You will see it in the infant and toddler program. So it's basically by shapes, sizes, so they can stack them up. It's stackable. And also this is actually Caroline's unit blocks that designed 1913. So as you can see them, and we're still using them. And now there are different types of blocks. Unit blocks, plastic interlocking blocks, hollow blocks, and I'm going to show you some pictures, cardboard blocks, foam blocks, special building sets, cube blocks. So there are different types of blocks. I wanted to kind of show you because, you know, days by this 100 years. So people actually coming with new idea, new kind of blocks ideas, and new innovation using different types of blocks using technology. So you can now, children can expose to different kind of blocks. So here's some of the picture, unit blocks, foam blocks, linking cubes. I also have a tub of linking cubes. I don't know if you can see it because I have my background. Can you see? No, huh? Yeah, let me kind of blur my background so you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. So these are my linking cubes that I have. And also, these are the hollow blocks here. It's okay. Sorry, just a minute. Okay. Okay. So this is linking cubes. You can find the magna tiles is very popular one in the classroom. I think children love magna tiles besides wooden blocks. Hollow blocks actually used for outdoor. And according to Eckers, if you want to get a 7, you should have a hollow blocks also for outdoor so children can build. And also Lincoln logs. This is also another one, very special. Children love it. Cardboard blocks that could be created using any types of boxes, small, bigger, different types of boxes. Parents can actually make it at home. It's very easy. And also Lego. So these are the Lego. So I'm kind of shared few items here. However, there are many different types of blocks you can find now in the supply stores. Now, quickly, how many of you actually know the stages of block, or you heard about it, you learned about it, stages of blocks? No? Okay, that's interesting. So there are some stages. So these stages actually show the progression of children, how they can improve based on their developmental and also cognition, all. So if you look into the stage one basically carrying and filing and dumping, that's kind of like a baby under 2. You see that toddler and infant and toddler, they just carry some blocks and throw it away, you know, filing them, put them in a container. So this is the first stage. And the second stage basically start building. So they kind of stacking them one at the top of the other. So that's actually starting at age 2 to 3. So children make horizontal like row laying blocks and also put, like stacking them one at a time. So that's a stage 2. And then stage 3 kind of start doing bridging. It's called bridging. So they put 2 blocks and then they basically like put 2 blocks are placed vertically as pillars and then they put third one on the top. So that's basically called start bridging. And that actually started at age 3. And then stage 4, it's another interesting, I think, progression is called enclosures. So during that time, they actually put 4 blocks and create an angle and closed space. So you will see children kind of try to make a little house. And then they said, oh, this is my house and I'm inside my house. So they can go inside and outside. So basically they said, oh, this is our door. And then it kind of create a closed space. So that's actually start using enclosure stage at stage 3. And stage 5 actually called pattern. So in that pattern stage, they repeat bridging and enclosure repeatedly. So they kind of use the same design, but they put them repeatedly. So it's basically called the stage pattern stage. And then they also repeat it to form a horizontal and vertical pattern. And also they kind of learn how to balance stuff together, like, you know, placing them together. And then stage 6 is called naming structure. That means in that stage, they actually start telling you the name. Oh, this is my house. Oh, this is the airport. I built my castle. I build an airport. So they will actually tell you what kind of structure they are trying to build together. And then the last one is stage 7 is basically producing true life structure. So as you see in the picture, they are actually in stage 7. So they are trying to create a like huge building or maybe a castle. I remember I wanted to share a story. I remember when I was a site supervisor, one time I visited a classroom. So I saw 3, 4 boys and girls, the whole block area, they created huge construction. And I asked them like, okay, what did you tell me about it? What are you making? And they were so excited. They said, oh, Miss Rokeya, we made our community. And I said, really? Can you tell me what is in your community? And then they're like, it was so funny. They're saying, oh, this is our school building. And this is the park. And this is our McDonald's. And this is the drive-through McDonald's. So they created a drive-through for McDonald's. I was like, oh my goodness, you were so detail and they are like thinking about the whole situation, the parking spot, the drive-through, McDonald's, school. So they actually envision the true life community structure. So it was amazing to see the progression, you know. So that's why as an educator, whenever you see children building, you can kind of identify where they are and then prompt them, give them a little bit idea so they can actually challenge to go to the next stage. So that's our responsibility. So that's why we need to give them more items, not only blocks, give them some other materials. For example, like maybe a houses or maybe a dolls, maybe some cars, right? So we can actually let them more creative. Any questions so far regarding these stages? Okay, now I want you to actually watch a video. This is actually wonderful. Hold on. This is a wonderful video. So watch that video and listen what they said about the significance, the importance of block. And then I might ask you that questions. Okay.
Fun to watch the kids.
Put it.
Usually they run to the great big block.
Can you hear?
First, and then gradually they start seeing the colorful smaller blocks or the different shapes of different blocks or textures, and then they'll move from station to station. I heard about the block party at a national conference from the University of Wisconsin. And then I had an opportunity to go up and visit and watch her do a block party, and thought this would be a great thing for our Indiana families. So we try to set it up and let a lot of families have an opportunity to participate. And we'll set up information in the background that gives them the ideas of things that they can do with blocks. It's such a fundamental toy with infinite possibility.
It's just a block. I think, we played with them when we were little, and it was just a block. I just had no idea the things that they got out of it. And besides just building, me thinking they're just building a tower or something, how much they really can get out of it.
For the block party, we evaluated what both childcare teachers and parents learned from participating in those evenings. We found that parents kind of came into the block parties not really knowing or perhaps not remembering all the neat things that kids can do with blocks, and didn't really know how it connects to academic learning in the future. And so the block party is really good at transferring information to parents about how building with blocks really develops math skills like measuring and counting and estimating.
Let's count how many square blocks you used and how many rectangle blocks you've got. We have children who will sort them before they start to build. And so you'll see them all arranged in a particular size or order. And, that in and of itself is, sorting by attributes. That is very mathematical thinking.
And science skills, where children are experimenting and testing their hypotheses, and these engineering skills. Kids are actually doing what engineers do. They're conceiving of a problem or something a product that they want to make. They're sometimes making drawings or just talking out what it should look like. Then they're trying a construction. They're just constructing a prototype and seeing if it works the way they want it to work. And if it doesn't, they're modifying it.
As they start to develop more of a sense of testing with blocks and experiencing and experimenting with the blocks, you'll see things that start to build higher and higher and taller, because they're starting to measure out weight and starting to think about, if I put this particular type of block in this spot and then I put another shape with it, what's that going to do? And it becomes successful or unsuccessful depending on that experience that they have. And so you get to see more details in block building as they get more experience with them and as they get older in them.
So the social skills involve playing with blocks with other kids. And when you're sharing materials and planning things and exploring ideas that you need help to build your block building or whatever it is, then that really gives kids an opportunity to learn how to communicate with other kids, and gives them leadership opportunities, and come up with a product that everybody's happy with. For the physical skills, if they're small blocks, they're really good for helping kids develop their strength in their hands and their coordination. If they're large blocks, they're good for whole body movements, because kids are bending and stooping and dragging and carrying and stepping up and stepping down. So there's a lot of opportunities for physical development as well. All those things are presented to parents in the block party workshops in kind of a concise and fun manner, in different displays that have different kinds of blocks available for parents and kids to play together. And so the parents are kind of learning while having fun with their children. And our hope is that they'll sort of take this home and get some inexpensive blocks that they can use at home, and use some of the techniques that are demonstrated in the block party for how to play with your child in a way that allows the child to be creative and use all these skills.
We all have our own computer. We all have our own, set of dishes that we use. And so blocks for me are that very same component for children and development. It's just something that you have as an everyday component and piece to your life.
Anybody can make blocks out of cardboard boxes, out of scrap wood, out of measuring cups, and build things.
We do use blocks more now than what we did before. And we actually got out some scrap pieces of wood that my grandpa used to use in his wood shop. And the girls, that's one of their favorite things to do, is to go especially when they go to grandma's, they'll go grab those scrap pieces of wood and see what all they can build with them.
Play is important, and play is an appropriate learning activity for young children. And so let's make sure we keep play in children's lives. Block play is one kind of important play that kids love to do and they learn a lot from. Increasingly, I see structured activities taking over children's lives so that kids' days are pretty scheduled and they do need time to play. That's something that I think children have a need to play and they have a right to play. One of the messages that the block party and other kind of block activities send out to the adult world is that, hey, play is important.
Isn't it so amazing to see like how much and how much they can actually get out of it? So it's really interesting to also watch this video, and you can actually identify like who is actually in which stage, right? So you can see the stages as well. So I wanted to give you about like a few minutes to think about it. What are some benefits did you observe from this video, or what do you think? Why block play is so significant, and how we can actually design our environment that support block play, or as an educator, how can we support block play? Anyone would like to share anything? And also let me see in the chat. You can also put it in the chat box. So let me see. Ronaldo mentioned so much amazing content. It is a great way to see what is happening and how the environment is designed. Yeah, and also the video that you saw, actually, they had a block party, and then there was just amazing. And let me tell you, we are also, our CFS department, we're going to have the all about block party in May 30th. So come and watch and enjoy. Okay, Anna, you want to share something?
Yeah, one of the things that I think also you mentioned in your presentation and just watching the kids was also a lot of the social studies and social emotional
No.
that they could learn through block play. For example, when he mentioned something about team players, role
Yeah.
play, right? A lot of teamwork, self-confidence.
Yes.
And also when you also mentioned about you having that conversation with the children, the social studies, their community,
Right.
right? They know the locations,
Yes,
the
absolutely.
symbolic representation.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing. So let's kind of get a little bit like deep into the benefits. I really want like all of us as a student and also educator to think about it. Let me see if somebody's in the teacher get to show them develop motor skills. Yeah, absolutely. Fine motor skills, definitely. So we say that block is a holistic materials, open-ended, right? What are some mathematical concept they can get out of blocks? A lot, all the mathematical concept, right? Counting, measuring, comparing, more or less, which one is longer, shorter, so many patterns, so many things actually. It's kind of give them, and also two-dimensional, three-dimensional shapes, not only two-dimensional, three-dimensional shapes ideas as well. And think about science process. So they say they're actually using, think about all the scientific inquiry stage. So they're observing, they're questioning, they're also predicting, they're experimenting, and then they're thinking about the results, right? Cause and effect. So all this science skill process. Language, definitely. They're like sharing ideas, talking, conversing with adults, and also think about those words. I was like thinking, how in the classroom, like they also learn like new vocabulary. Like this is not a rectangle. This is basically rectangular prism. So rectangular prism, triangular prism, sphere, cone. So they're learning new vocabulary, constructing, become a designer, blueprint, right? So they're actually learning so many advanced vocabulary as well. Physical development, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, bending it, stacking them, bringing them, put them together, manipulation, right? Eye-hands coordination, and also their cognitive, their brain development as well. Because when children are planning to do something, is help their executive functioning. So they use their prefrontal cortex to plan and execute. That also improve their neurons connection. And social skills, we talked about it, and also STEAM. So STEAM basically science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So it includes all of them. So that's why block is actually a holistic materials. So now I wanted to kind of show you quickly, and then we wanted to spend some time on the STEAM idea sharing. So we can actually share, we can create an environment in many ways. So how we can actually create an environment, we need a space, and space needs to be protected from the noisy area, from the traffic. So because block play is a busy area, block area, so it should be with the busy area. Okay, and blocks should be arranged in a low shelf, and also it must be accessible for children, so they know how to get them and they know how to put them back. And also block play should also include different other materials, different types of blocks, of course. And maybe many of you know that according to Eckers, you have to have at least 3 types of blocks. That's kind of, like okay position, but good position. But if you wanted to have excellent in your Eckers environmental rating scale, then you should have at least 5 different types of blocks in the classroom. And that needs to be accessible for children for a specific amount of time. And you can also add small animals, peoples, cars, and I have like a little cars right here, like of course an airplane, and also books and posters, and also Legos, toolboxes, costume, doll houses, so they can actually see a variety of materials. So that kind of give them more idea how to represent by their constructions. And also you can have books and posters about different types of houses, different types of bridges, so they can see what they can build, what kind of houses they can build, what kind of bridges they can build using blocks. So we should have those type of prompting posters as well for them. How we can support? There are many ways, like as an educator, like we have a lots of responsibility, I will say. First of all, we have to provide space, time, and materials. I remember when I was a new teacher, some teacher kind of get a little bit of confused. They said, oh, I don't want to let them play with blocks because they can hit each other. They can, because it's heavy, it's big, it's something, so I don't want them to fight or get hurt. However, we need to teach them the safety rules as a teacher, how to introduce, how to use blocks, and blocks is for playing and building, blocks is for not hitting. So we can actually share safety rules. We actually introduce blocks and also let them know and show them, model them how to use it. And connect blocks and woodworking with your activity and curriculum. Ask open-ended questions. Have your camera ready, because sometimes they build beautiful construction. They cannot take it home. They get upset. So you take a picture, you document their construction, you save it, and you can use it for your observation documentation. And also, be intentional when planning. I know that sometimes teachers feel like small group activity always would be arts and crafts. Not at all. You can even have a block play as your intentional small group activity. They can do 3-dimensional sculpture using blocks. That also art activity. And also it can serve the other purposes as well. So we need to be really intentional in how to organize it, rotate some materials, bring some new idea into your block area. So that kind of give them more ideas and more intentional to using them and learn the most out of that, okay? Instead of only building something, so they can get more ideas and improve more skills. Now, since we don't have enough time, so woodworking also just linked with block play is an extension of block play, but that's for a little bit older kids. Okay, so if there's a possibility, there's a space, we can also use woodworking activity for school-age children. That also tremendously beneficial for children, for their creativity, for their whole child development. And also it can provide them rich three-dimensional experience, and also, coming up with benefited with the process. However, when you plan woodworking activity, you must have few things we need to keep in mind. You must have enough time, specific time and space, safety rules, tools and equipment that are appropriate for the age group, adult supervision all the time, 100%, even for block play. And also you should have a knowledgeable adult who can guide them, who can model them how to use woodworking. Okay, but again, that's for older children. One thing I wanted to share, I learned that Home Depot, actually, if you connect with Home Depot sometimes they provide free workshops, woodworking workshops for school-age children. So, if you have a Home Depot, you can also get like scrape woods, pieces of woods free. If you say, I'm a teacher, I came from school, so they can actually give you free wood scrapes, like pieces of woods, or even maybe do some woodworking workshops for children. Okay, take advantage of it if you have opportunity. Now let's talk about STEAM, and then I actually want to hear your brainstorming ideas as well. So STEAM is a very famous topic, right? So very famous now, especially I know for school and colleges, STEAM discipline is very popular. People wanted to get into there. So for young children, it is also the time to introduce STEAM concept. STEAM or STEM, but I actually prefer STEAM because I also wanted to include art components in there. So I'm like more into STEAM, not STEM, but anyway. So STEAM means science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So think about your block play. Think about your block center. They can use for all of these areas, right? Observing, predicting, experimenting for science, designing, constructing, designing with different, using technology. For example, magnet tiles. That's actually technology because that has magnets in there, right? And also research some different types of houses using tablet and computer, identify different types of design they can do. I remember my son, when he was in elementary, he actually designed it in the computer. He designed a structure using Lego. Then we had to go, based on his design, we actually went to the Lego store and gets like a different kinds of Lego, and then he used to build that structure. But first, he actually used a program, I don't remember right now, to design his constructions, like a house. So that's technology, definitely. Designing, constructing, and creating a blueprint. Blueprint also part of engineering and also part of art. Creating three-dimensional visual art sculpture, that also art, and also counting, comparing, measuring, making a pattern, that's math. So they can do all of this, right? Using blocks. So before I actually go to the breakout rooms, I wanted to actually give you some times for breakout rooms to think about your own curriculum activity. I wanted to show you, like, this is how we can be intentional. For example, preschool classroom right now, they actually use project-based curriculum, or maybe thematic curriculum, but themes needs to be very relevant to their everyday practices. So they must know about it. For example, building, because building, they know, they see around them. They see different types of building around the school, around their household, in the neighborhood, right? So building could be a good project theme And you can include blocks wonderfully. You can integrate blocks and wood scrapes and also Legos, everything in there. Let's see. Let's say your theme is building. So you can have science comparing which building is stronger. So you can use different materials to test it out. So you can predict, you can have a hypothesis with children, and then they can test it out, either blowing them or knock it down so they can see, is it magnet tiles is stronger, or wood blocks house is stronger, or foam blocks house is stronger. So they can actually test the different types of building to identify which one is stronger and steady, okay? Technology, they can use a magnet builder to build a house. That's technology. They could do some research, again, in the computer or iPad, find out different types of houses or different types of materials they can build their house with. Engineering, they can say, okay, well, let's construct a neighborhood. Let's construct our school building. That's their engineering. Again, it could be using different materials. Art, they could design a three-dimensional sculpture. Math, they can actually count how many blocks do I need to build my house? Or how many blocks, or what are the shapes, or what are the sizes of the blocks that I'm going to use to build my house. So that could be definitely math idea, right? And there could be more. So it could be more idea. So any questions so far? Now, I actually wanted to give you maybe about 15 minutes to come up with some of the activities. So brainstorming some of the activity, because, you know, sometimes we need to think, like when we discuss and think together as a group, many wonderful idea came up. So I really want you to think about it. Let me create a group. So what you're going to do, I'm going to share here. Let's stop share. I'm going to share a Google slide. So each group will go to your number. Let's say if you are room number 1, then you go to slide 1. So it has like a Google slide. So slide 1, and it has a theme already there. So based on the theme, you're going to, I think about it, at least one activity for each area: science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Okay. For example, you might have a theme like bridges. So come up with idea that you can include wood scrapes and Legos and blocks, everything there. Okay. So let me actually go to my block. How many people we have? We are Nicole assigned for 2 times. Okay. So we're going to have 3 groups only. Okay, so let me recreate 3 groups. So it's going to be automatically. So again, I'm going to share the link. Let me share the link first again before I actually, hold on. Here, let me go to share the Google slide. Copy. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat and I will share again so everybody can see it. Okay, so this is the Google slide that you are going to use it. So you discussed it and somebody can assign so you can write it down. Let me create, and it's gonna be like 10, 12 minutes. I'll give you like about 12 minutes. Breakout room, okay. Create 3 breakout room and you will have, let's say, 12 minutes. And then you get warning in 30 seconds, okay? And I'll go to your room to see in case anybody, you need some assistance as well. Okay, I'm going to open the rooms. Please join. Maria. Blanca, please join. Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry, I know it feel like less time. So just to give you some sort of ideas, I'm going to actually share. I'm going to share,
Okay.
so we can kind of discuss it, and we have a few more minutes. I really wanted to share quickly. So room number one, anyone wanted to quickly share from room number one? Here, hold on. Can you see room number one? So room number one, their actually theme was bridges. So they have science, how much can a bridge hold? So that's really wonderful, like weight tolerance. I love it, I love it. So technology, they did not put anything. For engineering, using toothpick and marshmallow to create structures. And also for art, they said shapes and styles, so they can actually, different types of shapes and styles they can draw or paint. And also math, who can build a bridge with the least amount of blocks, different shapes of bridges. Love it. I love this idea. Isn't it so cool? So it's really wonderful idea. Thank you so much, room one. And then and then I'll come back to room two since they're still maybe typing. So room three actually has a book instead of theme. So we have Three Little Pigs book. So Three Little Pigs, s- three little three little pigs. So they have science comparing three houses. So which one can blow faster? You know how like wolf, they're blowing the houses. For technology, research about what materials is stronger to build a pig house. That's their technology. Engineering, constructing houses using blocks and wood scrapes. Art, drawing a blueprint of my dream house. And math, comparing sizes, the house size, smaller, medium, and bigger. So that's kind of like math activity idea. And then let's go to the room two. Room two, you want to say? Instead of, I know that you guys didn't type that much, but you can say it. From room two, anyone? Maria, Claudia, anyone would like to say what you were thinking? Come on, Maria.
A little bit confused. We were focusing more like of like what type of materials we can
Okay,
actually
no
use.
problem, no problem.
So that's why we were thinking about, okay, to build a house, what type of materials or activities we can engage the children in so that they're able to, use their motor skills and so forth. So
Okay.
we were just talking about like the science, some of the magnetiles now that they use.
Uh-huh.
Because they have, the magnets now. When you putting the
Connect.
blocks together, they don't fall apart.
Right.
And I was mentioning to the girls that I actually just a few days ago I purchased my grandson some because he's autistic. So I thought it would be easier for him and he would feel more accomplished because they're staying together. They're connecting and they're not falling apart. So I thought that would actually make him feel really good about that.
Oh my goodness. I wanted to share. You know how these are waffle builder?
Uh-huh.
I have a child who has severe autism. He used to love it. This is something that he used to play all day. So children with autism, they love magnetiles, they love blocks, waffle builders, everything they can connect or they can make a line and put them together so that they love it. So
They
it's
love it.
really,
Yeah. So again, he loved them. They were Minecraft.
yeah,
And so he really, really enjoyed that. And then we mentioned about the technology, just some of the items that the children can use to build a house.
yes.
We were talking about maybe allowing the children to use like measuring apps, technology.
Yep.
Nowadays there's a lot of information, games, things that the children can actually have a lot of fun with,
Yeah,
on the internet. They have to now. It's all about technology, so children have to learn at a very young age how to use computers. So
absolutely.
they're learning. And then what else? Also we were talking about through the computer. Sometimes, there's those video games where there's, they're with their hands and the mouse, or even with the pencils or with their fingers, they're
They
able
can
to
draw.
drag blocks, stack them up, create a
Yeah,
lot of things, and they can use like their creativity.
absolutely.
And at the same time, they're like you mentioned, they learn in every different way, cognitive, emotional, you name it.
Absolutely.
And then we were also talking about again, we mentioned video games, that was part of the technology. And then engineering, I don't know if we got to that part. Did we get to the engineering part, ladies? I don't think we did. And then
Okay,
art,
no
I know
problem.
we were talking about colors, and then you mentioned also think about the painting of the house. You need
Meaning
to
of the
paint the
house.
house, so you're
Yeah,
gonna need colors to paint the house.
absolutely.
And math, again, we were talking about measurements, like, but it was more, we focus more of the, like, the internet things, that
Yeah, no
games
problem.
that they can
Yeah,
utilize.
absolutely. Because now on yesterday I attended a training about AI. So now like K to 12 actually incorporating AI. So we are using like more and more technology.
Technology.
So thank you so much, everyone. It's such a wonderful to hear like all those ideas, and it's kind of come up with like it's give you more ideas as well. So 2 more minutes I'm gonna take, and then I will give you a few minutes to complete a survey. I just wanted to show you how this block play can be connected with DRDP, PTKLF, that means preschool and transition kindergarten learning foundation. That's the new one, and also ACRS. So as you can see, DRDP has a DRDP foundation, cognitive actually cover math, science, all of this. So all the cog measures actually you can utilize using blocks and different types of block type materials. Cog 1 to classification, number, measurement, pattern, shapes, cause and effect, observation, investigation, and then physical development and health 4 and 5. That's talked about fine motor skills, that talked about safety. And if you look at the ACRS actually all mathematics, foundation and substrand, science, domain, these are the domain and these are the substrands. So all the domain, math domain, science domain, physical development, perceptual, motor skills, movement, and visual and performing arts, visual arts, all the domain, all these domains actually covered by block and woodworking activity. So definitely if you plan anything or if you wanted to focus on this domain, you can absolutely provide different opportunities for students to explore and activity doing using blocks. And also lastly, ACRS measure, they have one measure, it's called measure 20. It's only focused on blocks. So according to ACRS, if you wanted to have a good 5 number, then you should have at least 3 categories of blocks. It should be open shelves. It should be accessible for children, and they should have a lots of conversation and building and exploring, conversing opportunity. So that also give you like a good score of 5. And also there's another measure 18 is art. So it said if you wanted to get excellent point 7, then you should have some 3D constructions. That could be using cardboard, boxes, blocks, wood scrapes, anything that 3-dimensional. So I just mentioned few. Actually, you can cover like language and literacy, social, emotional, other components as well. I didn't put all of them. I just put few to show you how block play can be served for all the areas of the domain. And also lastly, I wanted to show you, these are the reference I used for my presentation. And if you have any question or anything, this is my email. If you wanted to get this presentation, I share with Teach for LA, but if you wanted to get it through me, you can email me if you want. I'll be happy to send it to you. And Teach for LA actually have my presentation slides, so if you need, they can share with you as well. So now I wanted to pause. If you have any question, I'm going to answer your question. And I'm going to request Nicole, if you can share the link for the survey. Nicole, are you here with me? Do you have the link so they can use the survey? So you make sure you complete the survey, and then it can actually take you to the raffle, okay? Any questions so far? Any question? Thank you so much, Nicole. Do you have the link? Let me see if she has the link. Do you have your survey link, Nicole? I don't actually have the link. I have the other one. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh no, she does not have it. Let me see if I can find it. Just give me 1 minute. Just a few seconds because I should have it. Since I use it for the other one. Let's see. Teach for LA, right? No, I actually does not have it. So again, let me see. Oh, no. I don't have it. Anyway, so it seems like maybe she's also busy. So thank you so much. And um, I'm so grateful that you were here with me, 3 o'clock, 3 to 4. So it's really wonderful to see. I know you were tired, all of you. So thank you so much for your support and participation. I hope you learned something new, at least, maybe a few things new. And also make sure you incorporate blocks into your curriculum and classroom. That is an awesome materials for all the whole child development. So again, take care, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm here if you have any question or anything. I can definitely, I'll just wait for Nicole, maybe a few more minutes.